Hey, thanks for joining us for week 3 of our Proverbs Post. This week we'll be reading through Proverbs chapters 10 through 16. And you'll notice if you've already started this huge change, as we mentioned last week, in a verse by verse changing of the subject. And of course, our emphasis this month, as we're reading through in January, is the subject of fools and how not to be one. So what I'd really encourage you to do is you're reading through each chapter each day to underline or highlight or circle every time you see the word fool or foolish, and then try to encapsulate at the end of the day, at the end of the reading of that chapter, what we know about fools and how not to be a fool, and maybe make a notation or some kind of reminder so that you could look back and just in one sentence or a couple of bulleted points could go back and look each day, each chapter, and see the things that we shouldn't do to be a fool. And so that we're not that foolish one who ends up with all of those problems. So he talks about fools and what they do. Chapter 10, 11, 12, as we said, all the way through chapter 16, we see how fools use their words, we see how fools treat other people, we see how fools are lazy, all of these different things. So as you go through, again, just encouraging you to think about that and then put that process into your mind. How can I make sure that I'm not a fool? How can I make sure that I'm not doing these things that the wisdom writer of Proverbs, especially in this first section, Solomon, that he's telling me, that he's encouraging me and strengthening me with this information. And I think when you get to the end of the month, and that's been our focus, you'll have a good snapshot of what a fool looks like. And then, of course, as I say, make that application and say, well, I certainly don't want to be like that. And so I need to avoid this, not talk this way, not do these things. I need to make sure that I am living like this. I am thinking this way. I am doing these things. And that'll help us all along. So thanks for joining us this week. Let me encourage you again, a chapter a day. It's not too much. Just take a couple of minutes of your time. And if you get behind, again, don't sweat it. If today's the 13th, read chapter 13. Even if you've missed 10, 11, or 12. Just read the chapter of the day. As we come back through it next month, good likelihood you'll get it again. So try to establish that habit of reading, looking for those things that God wants you to know, and trying to avoid those things so we're not fools. Thanks for watching. Join us next week, and we'll move on in the book of Proverbs a little further.